Most people think success is a straight road, paved with hustle and ambition. But what if I told you that very obsession might be the reason you're failing? This story will change how you chase your dreams.
In a quiet village on the edge of the hills, where time moved slowly and dreams often faded before sunrise, lived a young man named Karan. He was the kind of person people admired from afar. Disciplined, diligent, relentless. Every morning he'd rise before the sun, work till his fingers hurt, and still sleep with the same question burning in his chest: why isn't it working? He wasn't lazy, he wasn't lost, he was just stuck, and eventually that stuck feeling turned into something darker, a quiet, creeping doubt.
Sound familiar? You pour your heart into something. You do everything right, and yet life shrugs and looks the other way. So what are you missing?
One evening, Karan sat beneath an old neem tree, watching the sky turn amber. He'd heard whispers about a sage who lived beyond the river, a man known not for answers, but for questions that changed people. At dawn, he packed a small bag, left a note for his mother, and walked. Hours passed, fields faded, until finally, a silent ashram, hidden in mist. The sage sat still, as if time bowed to him. Karan waited.
Some people look for answers in books, others in mentors or motivational reels. But the rare few, they walk miles in silence, hoping the road itself might whisper the truth.
When the sage opened his eyes, Karan wasted no time. "Master," he said, "I give everything I have. I work endlessly. But success," he paused, "never stays." The sage didn't answer right away. He simply smiled and handed him a spoon filled with oil. "Walk around the entire ashram," he said, "but make sure not a single drop spills. We'll talk when you return."
Weird, right? Imagine traveling for days, only to be told to babysit a spoon. But remember this, sometimes the greatest lessons don't speak, they test.
Karan nodded and began. Every step calculated, every breath controlled. He didn't see the sunrise behind the temple dome, didn't notice the paintings on the walls, didn't hear the birdsong in the trees. All that mattered was the oil. He returned, triumphant. "I did it," he said. The sage asked calmly, "And what flowers bloom in the garden?" "Flowers?" Karan blinked. "What murals are painted inside the temple?" Karan's face fell. He hadn't seen anything.
Sometimes life doesn't whisper in words, it teaches in silence. And if you're not listening closely, you'll miss the very lesson meant for you.
The sage nodded and said, "Try again, but this time, observe everything. And still, don't spill." So Karan walked again, and this time, he saw the marigolds curling towards sunlight, the brushstrokes of a battle painted on ancient stone. The small boy feeding pigeons with his grandfather, he smiled. But when he returned, a drop of oil had spilled.
This is where most people live. Some lose their vision chasing perfection. Others enjoy the journey, but lose their grip on responsibility. Real success? It demands both.
The sage looked at the spoon, then at Karan. "This," he said, "is the secret. To walk through life focused, without going blind. To carry your goals carefully, without becoming obsessed. To succeed, without forgetting to live." Karan didn't reply. He just stood there, eyes wide, mind quiet. For the first time in years, that day, he didn't find a shortcut. He found something better, balance. And slowly, everything changed.
So many people sprint toward dreams, only to collapse at the finish line, empty. Not because they didn't work hard, but because they forgot why they started. But what if the only thing stopping you isn't balance, but belief? What if the mirror you fear is hiding your breakthrough? Tap our next story, the power of self-belief. Because sometimes, the only magic you need is already inside you.